I'm genuinely gonna miss you guys, and I thank you for being here.
It's not working, refresh.
No?
It's not working.
TikTok has gone offline for American users as the law banning the application on national security grounds has come into effect. The platform is no longer available on the App Store, and American users are being met with a message saying the application is unavailable for now. US President-elect Donald Trump says he will most likely give TikTok a 90-day reprieve from its upcoming ban when he takes office. He was formerly a fierce critic of TikTok, which he sought to ban by executive order in 2020, but he reversed his position in early 2024 after meeting with investors.
You want to own TikTok?
I want Project Liberty to own TikTok. And yes, I'm connected to Project Liberty, but I want this to be, we call it the people's bid for a reason. And we want people, all of us in America, as many as possible, to have a stakehold in not only TikTok, but the future of the internet. We've engaged with ByteDance through our banker, and we have received acknowledgement that they've received our offer.
How much are you and your partners willing to spend on TikTok?
We're going to keep the terms of our offer confidential out of respect for them until they have a chance to digest it. However, I have been fairly public about what we think it's worth and the amount of money we've raised, and that's order of magnitude $20 billion. And so I think you can draw the conclusion as to what we're thinking about in terms of the value of U.S. TikTok, which is a small portion of ByteDance. And
$20 billion is U.S. TikTok, your estimation.
That's right, without the algorithm.
There is no way the Chinese government lets anyone have that algorithm.
I think they've been quite clear about that. They view that as national IP, and it's not going anywhere. Lots of people thought, well, why would I buy it without the algorithm, or nobody would buy it without the algorithm. I think what makes our bid unique is that we're offering to buy it without the intellectual property, without the algorithm. And I think that may be the key to unlock the door in order to get this app sold and a transaction to take place which will keep the app alive.
Welcome to democracy in the American way of saying it. Guys, this is about the TikTok ban, and it is a sad situation, I must say. I am sad. I don't even live in the US, but I'm sad about this. Guys, I've been seeing videos where friends are sending, videos to their friends and they can't access the app. They are receiving a notification that they can't access TikTok. And that's crazy, guys. It seemed like a bluffing situation. I thought it was not going to happen. But before I even continue, guys, let me know, if you are in the US, guys, can you access TikTok, like, for real? Because this is freaky. And more disturbing because we have these groups of people, especially these white men, that cannot stand seeing another person having something successful that they have no hand in it. That's crazy. And this message also goes to white people that feel like they should not, talk about anything, like, they are privileged and all that. Guys, TikTok getting banned, it's not segregating black people of color. It's taking everybody, including yourselves, palmed people. And this should be an opportunity to show you as a white person that your own people don't care about you. They do not care about you, because if they did, they will find other ways to maybe work out the situation. But no, they would rather put everybody in the back in trash, for them to earn, for them to get something for themselves. Because this is a platform that has been giving people opportunities to earn a living, make money, communicate with people, learn about things, make communities. But apparently, because it's not owned by a white man, by a white face, it is a threat to the national security of American people. And it's crazy how America uses that word of, security and democracy when they are the best at breaking that code, but they have the audacity to talk about security and how they care about their people. How can you care about people by taking their income away, by taking their freedom of speech away, their freedom of living away, and you talk about democracy, and you talk about the American dream, and you talk about we are a free nation? How? But yeah, guys, listen to what people have to say about this. And, some people are saying goodbye because, like I said, some people can't access it anymore. So, yeah, let's get into it.
If TikTok being banned does not radicalize you as an American citizen, you are intentionally missing the point, because it's not about TikTok. It's the fact that Republicans and Democrats across all legislative branches can expeditiously and unanimously pull together like never before, and probably never again, to streamline legislation banning a social media app while completely ignoring everything important to us. They can't pull together to make sure my kids don't get shot while they go to school, to fix the economy, to mandate livable wages, to kick hedge funds out of single-family homes so I can afford my fucking mortgage again. They're doing fuck all about homeowners insurance, stealing billions of dollars from Americans, and then leaving them for dead while their homes wash away in a flood or burn to the fucking ground in a fire. They, like every other country, can't pull together to outlaw the poisonous substances that are put into our food, creating an epidemic of obese, diabetic, cancerous Americans who need to lean on a healthcare system. They do fuck all to mandate in way of quality of service or cost. They won't give us free healthcare. They won't invest in infrastructure or education, but all of their efforts collectively go to banning a social media app. California is on fire. North Carolina and Tennessee washed away. New Jersey has geoplasmic orbs over it. Our kids get shot in school, and our economy is on the brink of fucking collapse. But their top priority is banning social media. That's where the effort goes.
You raised the question of Red Note. Well, guess what? If TikTok users flood to Red Note, they're going to face the same challenge there because it's also controlled by the Communist Party. Second, the senator's made a lot about some affidavit by some intelligence community official in some case. I don't know what it's referring to. I do know this. I've been on the Intelligence Committee for 10 years. I chair it now. I've heard the testimony of senior leaders that TikTok poses a grave threat to our national security and our people's well-being. But I also know this. Third, you don't need intelligence. TikTok's own internal documents reveal the threat that it poses to Americans. The state attorneys generals have brought lawsuits to defend their people. Those lawsuits have produced documents that show chapter and verse exactly what TikTok has done to Americans. And finally, we keep hearing it's only 270 days. It's only 270 days. In 270 days, that is what TikTok will say again, because it will not have been sold, because Chinese communists won't allow it to be sold, because it's not just another app. It's not Instagram or Facebook or X or anything else. It is a Chinese communist spy app. I yield the floor.
Since TikTok is officially getting banned, I want to share something that will probably consider me a terrorist, get me arrested, or get me on a watch list. Peaceful protests get nothing. There is nothing that comes from being peaceful. As you can see with our founding forefathers that dumped tons of tea into a fucking harbor, there's absolutely nothing that being peaceful gets you. Peaceful does not land anywhere in history. And we can see that with how the inception of this country, America, was created. Stop being peaceful if you want to change history. There's no such thing as peace changing the future. The forefathers did write something in the Constitution to protect us. If the government is not acting right, then we can. Colonizers for centuries have been using violence to dominate, overcome, and take whatever they want. We are not colonizers, but we can use violence against them the same way that they have used it against marginalized groups for centuries. There is no such thing as a minority in this country. Do not believe the U.S. Census. Every number that you see, every ingredient, seasoning, everything that you see is manipulated to make you believe you are less. More money that you spend on Temu, Shein, Amazon, the further away you get from your freedom. Money takes time to get. The more time that you spend at work, the less time that you have to develop your community. The less time that you have to develop your community, the less time that you have to change the state of the world that you live in. That's why the cost of living has gone up so much and wages have gone down so much, so that you can stay at work and stay distracted. And when you get home, you're too tired to do anything, to organize, to create anything, to teach, to share, to learn, to give anything else to anything but the system. That's why things are the way they are in the economy. It's not by mistake. So stop spending money completely. Stop spending money. Unless it comes to your survival or it comes to you investing in your community, stop spending it. If you are afraid to lose your life, you've already lost it.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate to have to make this video, but it just feels wrong without speaking on it. Just like everybody else, I'm so sad about TikTok, and honestly, the biggest thing at first was, obviously, this is a form of income for my child, like, I'm losing that. But at this point, it's so much bigger than that. At the end of the day, more money can be made, more brand deals can be brought on different apps. Who gives a fuck about the money part? But the fact that time after time after time after time after time in America, our voices are genuinely just not heard. And honestly, like, I'm the last person who gets into, like, fucking government shit, because I got 5 brain cells, okay, and they're all occupied. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like we sign all these petitions and we say, hey, like, USA, like, government, whoever the fuck we're talking to, because I don't even know at this point. But it's like, we say, like, oh, we don't want this to happen. We don't want that to happen. Every single time it just happens. And it's so discouraging. I don't give a fuck what happens to me in my lifetime, but being a mom made me really fucking open my eyes as to what goes on in this country and, like, in this world alone. I haven't seen a single person in this world who is there for the ban of TikTok. Who knows if it's going to be taken away? Put that aside, but it's the fact that, like, that it even comes down to this. All these petitions that we've signed for all these black men in America who are about to be executed, there's no evidence for them, etc. It's like we always sign these petitions and we always do all of these things, but nothing ever comes from. It's just fucked up to make it all the way to the Supreme Court. Yet again, the government is straight up looking us in our eye and just saying, fuck you, bitch, bend over and take this. That's the best way that I can fucking explain it. They're more toxic than my baby daddy. And it's just so sad. Like I said, put the money aside. It's like, do you really want to fucking live in a country like that? I have my savings, whatever. I have a platform on YouTube. I have a platform on IG. I'm sure I can make something work. But for all these small fucking businesses and all of these people who have worked so hard for all these years and finally got a little bit of leeway, you know, maybe $100 or $200 extra a month, and that has saved them. It's little things like that that are being taken away from these people who don't fucking deserve that. I, like anybody else, hope that this app doesn't go away, so I'm not crying on the internet for no fucking reason. But actually, I have a reason to be crying, because at the end of the day, it should have never gotten this far. This is just sad and miserable. At this point, I don't even want to promote my YouTube and promote my fucking IG, but obviously I'm gonna do it because, like, I'm gonna miss you. I'm really gonna miss you guys so much. Even you Reddit bitches that hate me, that's how you know I'm sad. I'm about to miss you hoes too. Yeah, it's been real. This is probably my last time crying on this app, and that's crazy because if you know, you know.
So this is it. This is my official goodbye video. I am sure that many of us, millions of us, are tired of fighting every single day for our rights, for our freedom of speech, and for our safety. However, I have to be real with you. I'm not going to be like every other fucking TikToker, every content creator who just feeds you bullshit, or trying to paint a beautiful picture that there's always a better way of handling things. Let me tell you something. There always isn't a better way of handling things. Sometimes the worst option you have is the best that you have. Some of you are waiting for certain people to save you, while some are waiting for the opportunity to vote the enemy out. But what if none of that works? What if all options are already used up? What then? If you can't vote the person out and you can't rely on other leaders to help you, what can you do? Not a damn thing. Except there is something that you can do, but you are too afraid to do it. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, these cockroaches who ruled over the nation for so long was able to get away with so much BS for such a long time. It's because they know that the American people are too weak to do anything about it physically. They know the American people are scared. They know that American people are not going to stand up and do something about it. They know that Americans are nothing but a bunch of cowards. Protesting and voting doesn't work. If destroying their stocks and draining their bank accounts doesn't work, what else do you have? If downloading different apps or signing petitions doesn't work, what else do you have? I'll tell you, you have two options, and only two. One, you can actually do something about it. And I think you know exactly what I mean by that. Or two, you can leave this country and never return. The American dream is dead, and has been dead for a very long time. Your dreams, your goals, your opportunities, they are nothing but a fantasy. We have to establish when enough is enough. A lot of you are afraid of the consequences if you do such a thing. But if you are afraid of the consequences, nothing will change. Black people time and time again have been facing these consequences every time they stood up. But did that stop them from protesting, from fighting back? No, it didn't. They kept going regardless. And eventually things got a little bit better, but not a lot better. What would your ancestors do? What would your grandparents do? We have exhausted every single thing that we can possibly think of, yet nothing is working. They are humans. The people who control us, they are humans just like us. They're nothing special. We can remove them anytime we want. I think we've forgotten about that. If we don't want Tom Cotton in there, fucking remove him. Don't wait to vote. Remove this son of a in our Constitution. It's in our rights. If our government is corrupt, the people has every opportunity, has every reason to remove this son of a bitch by force, by any means necessary. I'm not talking out of my ass when I say this. But unfortunately, Americans has gotten so soft over the years that we just sit there and take it. So I'm gonna ask you this one more time before I go, which may be forever. When is enough enough?
So if this app truly does go dark at midnight, I refuse to leave without saying this. This cannot be forgivable. It cannot be, oh, we heard y'all's voices and we're not going to ban TikTok anymore. Sorry for the alarm. We understand it now. We cannot dial back on this. The damage is done. There is no saving it. There is no bringing us back to trust y'all. It's done. The ties are severed. Let me tell you exactly what happened. No smoke, no bullshit. TikTok was major competition for a lot of wealthy, powerful people, and they could not control it. TikTok opened gateways for people to live a better life that these fucked up mega corporation billionaires in charge would never allow to happen if it was up to them, and they didn't like it. So they started lobbying to ban it, and they got politicians on their side, and they went to the federal government. And then we shouted at the federal government, hey, fuck them billionaires. We elected you. You represent us, the American people. And so the federal government had to decide between honoring the billionaires or doing what we fucking pay them to do and represent the American people, and they chose the billionaires. That is an oligarchy. That is not American democracy. So it will not be, oh, never mind, we're not banning TikTok. It's going to be, no, motherfucker. You tried to misrepresent us. You went against our clear interests, our clear wishes. And on top of that, you tried to lie to us like it has something to do with data and national security. We're not forgiving that. You're done. I don't care if you're conservative, Republican, Democrat, liberal, everybody in the federal government as a whole, we need to cut the ties. Fascist countries ban apps. Point blank, period. When they can see rampant gun violence throughout this country and fast track a fucking app being banned, that is the sign of fascism, feudalism, and authoritarian society. Whatever you want to put on it, it's not an American democracy. And they did it in our faces. And if we sit here and let this app go dark, or even if they repeal the ban, if we sit here and let this bullshit go uncontested, we can kiss our freedoms goodbye. It's the tip of the fucking iceberg. They have gotten accustomed to thinking that they can do whatever they want to do, and that the millions of Americans who are against it just have to suffer the consequences. What the fuck do you mean? Tom Cotton got on there, who obviously doesn't know that Singapore isn't in fucking China. And he said, oh, well, we're going to ban TikTok, and if every American goes to Red Note, we're going to ban that too. Like he's some superpower motherfucker that can make decisions for everybody else. We have to remind them that it does not fucking work like that. They have gotten so ridiculously comfortable with thinking that we are these little working robot ants. And as long as we are working robot ants, motherfucker, it's going to continue. How many times do they get to take things from us? With no reasoning. All of the accusations they made about TikTok doing XYZ, there was no proof. There was no proof. There was no proof. It was a court hearing with no proof at the federal level, and they still banned it. Based off of accusations alone from motherfuckers that just don't like China. Point blank, period.
The reason why I haven't done a goodbye video was because I was holding out hope that something would change, that the decision to ban TikTok would be reversed. And I didn't want to say goodbye prematurely, but with less than 24 hours to go, I feel like it's time. The reason why I haven't told you to follow me here or follow me there is because we all know it's not going to be the same. If you want to, you're welcome to, but what we've cultivated here naturally and organically cannot be manufactured on any other platform. They know that, we know that. I hope that something that I've said on this channel has raised your standards, and that every man you date moving forward has to bring his A game to be with a woman like you. I hope that you know your worth because of something that I taught you here. I hope moving forward, your standards are higher now. That's all I ever wanted to do. I'm genuinely gonna miss you guys, and I thank you for being here.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok.
Y'all forgot about this, didn't you? Yeah, Trump could save TikTok, but he also helped create this mess in the first place. That is until he realized he could be a star on the app, and then was convinced that being pro-TikTok would help him sway young voters in the last election. But before this 180, back in July 2020, Trump wanted to ban TikTok as a punishment to China for their handling of the pandemic. And in August of that year, he issued an executive order to ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, to divest from US interests or face sanctions. He was one of the people repeating the argument that TikTok's data collection threatened the US, and he gave the thumbs up to a deal where Walmart and Oracle were supposed to have stakes in TikTok, which was eventually shelved. His attempt to ban TikTok was stopped by a federal judge who said that Trump was overstepping his authority. And then Biden actually revoked his original ban in 2021. See, a lot can happen in 4 years. Now, when the ban was signed in 2024, it was conveniently folded into a really big bill that also provided foreign aid to Ukraine, Taiwan, and Israel, among other things. So, some key takeaways from this whole debacle. Number one, things get hidden in really big bills, which we're going to see more of, so it's time to pay attention. 2, public pressure can change minds when people come together on an issue. And 3, you don't get to be a hero for solving a problem you created in the first place, especially when you benefited from creating the problem.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah. Bro, Infinity War was so good. I miss it.
I miss the theaters.
Let me check Twitter. Did y'all? No.
That is how bad that it is. This person was live and everybody just froze. Everybody just froze. Imagine you're just doing something. Imagine you're getting something done and then life just stops, because this is literally stopping people's lives. And it's wild. It's crazy, guys. This is ridiculous. And the fact that they are not even afraid to talk about how they want to buy the app for them to have a white face on it, it just shows you where it just shows you where we stand in this world. That, you know, the people on top, white, you know, with the money, they don't care about their own, they don't care about anybody else, they just care about being in control. It's all about power, and it will always be about power. And I mean, you heard what the black people had to say. Sometimes you have to get out of the box, and sometimes peace is not the way. So we are waiting to see how this is gonna unfold, how long it's gonna last. Like, we are just watching. I'm just watching and sending love to you guys, because this is wild. This is literally taking you out of the world. Literally crazy. This is actually reminding me in 2020, guys, in my country, Uganda, we had elections and we were literally cut out from the internet. Facebook was not working, nothing was working, WhatsApp, anything internet, even VPNs were not functioning. That's how crazy it was. Same situation that I'm saying. You know, these governments will do whatever it takes for them to do what makes them, you know, stay in power, or what is good for them than even their own people, as long as it keeps them in power, as long as it keeps them in control. And, you know, we all need to be in this fight together. It's not just Americans. You know, if this can happen to a first world claimed country, imagine the rest of the world. This should be an eye-opener, a big eye-opener. But yeah, guys, that is it for me in the video. We're just watching, sending love to you. Yeah, let me know what's going on, guys. I'll see you in another video. Bye.